Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cleveland's Municipal Stadium. As tonight, it is going to be Time Machine All Star, going to be the 2023 American League All Stars. This time taking on I should say, the National League All Stars of 2023, taking on the American League 1963 All Star team. If you remember right, the last time we were here in our videos, we did watch one of our games between the National League of the 63 taking on the American League of 2023. Well, this is going to be the matchup now becomes involved. So I hope you guys enjoy it. A little going back in history as we'll take a look through Stratomatic Baseball, an all star game between the All Stars of the National League of 2023 versus the American League of 1963. So with the American League being the home team, their defense is Wagner in left, Pearson in center, K Line in right, Malzone at third, Versalles at first, Acuna Earl Batty behind the plate, and on the mound from the California Angels will be Ken McBride. He was 13 and 12 on the year, 3.26 ERA, and he'll be the starter for the American League today. For the National League, Ronald Acuna leading off in right, followed by Freddie Freeman. Batting third will be Diaz in left, Betts at short, Riley at third, Corbin Carroll in center, Will Smith behind the plate, Lewis Arise and Diamondbacks is going to be Zach Gallen. So Gallen versus McBride. Let's play baseball. It's All-Star Series, time machine style, as the National League of 2023 take on the American League of 1963. Let's play baseball as McBride waits and sets. Here we go, and the pitch. We're playing in Municipal Stadium at the time where the singles were 1-7 to lefties, 1 to a right. Hitting home runs. The righties are only 1-7. So a little bit of a ball. Lefties have an easier time hitting home runs here in Cleveland. McBride on the mound. The full windup to Ronald Acuna. And Acuna hits a drive in the gap left center field. That could be trouble. Goes to the wall. A double for Ronald Acuna Jr. So he doubles the lead off the game. Here is Freddie Freeman. Freeman, a left-handed hitter. McBride, a right-handed hurler. Runner on it here in Cleveland. McBride from the stretch and the pitch. And now we have fly ball to center. Pearson is there, makes the catch, and there is one away. Let's see if we can boost ourselves up a little bit. Go. Sorry about that. Maybe that'll be better. Here is Colorado Rockies left fielder. Let's look at Diaz more. Didn't know enough about him. I think he might have been the All-Star Game MVP this year. He was the starting catcher for Rocky starter catcher McBride from again behind the plate. Runner on second, one out. Pitch to Diaz. And that's a struck him out on the inside corner, got him looking 2 away. Here is Mookie Betts, the starting shortstop. He'll bat right-handed against McBride. Runner on second and 2 outs, just getting started. The 2023 National Leaguers have a runner in scoring position and 2 out. And here's the pitch. And bet by pitch, and he'll take first base. So now bring up Austin Riley, the Atlanta Braves. Definitely doesn't hit well in the clutch. Definitely will struggle. So Riley will step up. McBride from the stretch, first and second, 2 outs. And that's going to be a line drive and caught by Versalles, retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, a hit batsman. We go to the bottom of the first. National League nothing. The American League's coming up the bat. Here is Nelly Fox. He gets the start. He'll hit only 60 on the year, 2 homers and 42 RBIs. Fine for why? Okay, why is he in left field? Let's make a change. Sorry, I can't do that. I can't put Diaz in left with a rating like that. That is absolutely sinful. All right, so hold the phone. So who do we have that can play? Oh, guess who can play left field? But as a four, will be Juan Soto from the San Diego Padres. So let's see this game. And there's no DH. The pitchers are batting. Betts will play left field as a four. It's better as a five. So already coming off the field will be Diaz. He gets in the bat, and then Soto will take his place because the defenseman alignment, the problem that just caused. So Soto in left, Carroll in center, Acuna in right, Riley, Betts, Arise, Freeman, Smith, and then Gallen. Ooh, Betts a 344 at short. What? Boy, long at short again. Let's see again. Looking at play, he can play right field. Can Acuna move to left? He probably could. Let's see. And then the backup shortstop would be what would not be out would not be Albies, that's for sure. Let's see. Again, just trying to piece things together before we get started and can't get any further. Can Arise play shortstop? No, he can't. Teams and they didn't have one. Betts basically is your starting shortstop. So that is definitely not good. So that's something to look at before I play is make sure these guys are positioned correctly. And with Betts being a three and an evil E44, that could cause some problems. They don't have anybody else to play short now as a backup. So here is Nelly Fox. He'll lead off against Zach Gallen of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Here's a pitch from Gallen to Fox, and that's a strike. Here is Albie Pearson from the Los Angeles Angels. Hit 304, 6 home runs, 47 RBIs. Gallen looks in from the side and gets it. Here's the pitch to Pearson, and that's a line drive right at Arise, and there's two away. There are 27 home runs, 101 runs batted in. Right-handed hitter, Mr. Tiger. Gallen from the set formation from the windup. Here's a pitch to K-line, and if it was there, makes the catch. One inning play here in Cleveland. National League nothing, American League nothing. Corbin Carroll will get the start here. He'll get the lead off here. Corbin Carroll on the year, rookie season, hit 285, 25 homers, 76 runs batted in. Batty puts down the sign. Mcbride, the right-hander. Here's the pitch to Carroll. And that's a ground ball to short. Versalles comes up, throws out the Pepitone, and there's one away. And here's 261 on the season, right-handed batter. Batty sets the target. McBride, the right-hander. Here's the pitch to Wilson. And that's a pop, the third. Malzone is there. Makes the catch. And there's two away. And now here is Louis rather than McBride looks in. Arise. And Arise, fly ball to left field. Wagner is there. Go down in the second. We go to the bottom of the second here in Cleveland. American League nothing, National League nothing. So here's Frank Malzone of the Boston Red Sox. Hit 291, 15 homers, 71 runs batted in. Smith puts down the sign. Gallen, the right-hander. Here is the pitch. And that's a line drive to Riley for out number one. So now here is Leon Wagner, another representative of the Angels. 291 hitter, 26 homers, and 90 runs batted in. Gets the start, looks in, gets the sign, the right-hander, the pitch to Wagner. And that's a ground ball to first. Freeman gets to the bag, and there's two outs. And now here's the catcher, Earl Batty. 285 hitter, 26 homers, 84 runs batted in. Smith puts down the sign. Gallen from the rubber here toes it up, and the windup at pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball. The hits it at bat, throws him out, and retires aside. 2 innings of play here in Cleveland. It's National League nothing. It's the National League of 2023 kicking on the American League of 1963. The Time Machine All-Star Classic Challenge. So now we go to the top there. We'll start with Zach Gallen leading off. Pitchers weren't hitting at this point, so they were all coming as a basic one-card pitcher. Batty puts down the sign. Mcbride, the windup, and the pitch. And that's a struck him out. Big strikeout for Mcbride, one away. Here's Ronald Acuna Jr. was stranded. Batty puts down the sign. McBride looks in, gets it. Here's the pitch. And that's a ground ball to second. Fox got it, throws him out, and there's 2 outs. And here's Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman is 0 for 1 so far. Batty puts down the sign. McBride looks in, and the windup to Freeman. Freeman with a base hit to right field. So now here's Juan Soto. Gets the start here now in left field. Had to play left field when Diaz came out. 275, 9 runs batted in. Batty puts down the sign. McBride from the stretch. Runner on first and 2 outs. And the pitch is a walk to Soto, and the National League got 2 on and 2 outs for Mookie Betts. Hit by a pitch his first time up. First and second, 2 outs, top 3. No score here in Cleveland. Batty puts down the sign. McBride from the stretch. First and second, 2 outs. And that's a strikeout for McBride. Retires aside. The bottom of 3. National League nothing. The American League nothing. So we go to the bottom 3. Here is the man responsible for the hairdryer, Joe Pepitone. New York Yankees, 271, 27 homers, 89 runs batted in. Smith puts down the sign. Gallen with the windup and the pitch to Joe. And that's a base hit for Pepitone. First base hit for the American Leaguers. He's on board. Here's Zolio Versales. 261 hitter, 10 homers. 54 RBIs, MVP in his sign. Gallen looks in from the stretch, run on first and nobody out, pitch to Zolio, and that's a fly ball to right. Acuna is there, makes the catch, and there's 1 away. Here is McBride, gets the start. Again, he's a normal hitting pitcher. They did hit this season, so it gave him a little more offense. So Gallen looks in the Smith. Smith puts down the sign. Gallen working from the stretch with Pepitone. Not much of a lead off first. Here's a pitch to McBride. And struck him out on the inside corner. Got him 2 away in the third. Here's Nellie Fox. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Smith puts down the target. Gallen looks in with a runner on first and 2 out. Here's the pitch to Fox. And that's a ground ball to second. Arise throws them out, and through 3, not much going on. We're scoreless. Head to the 4th. National League nothing and the American League nothing. Here's Austin Riley by Corbin Carroll and Will Smith. Puts down the sign. McBride hitting into his 4th inning of work. Here's the pitch to Riley. And Riley hits a shot in the gap left center field. That'll bounce off the wall, be a double for Riley. And here's Corbin Carroll. Batty puts down the sign, make nobody out. And that will be a liner caught by Nellie Fox right there. Riley had to head back. And now here's of Dodger Stadium, Will Smith, 0 for 1. Batty puts down the sign. Ken McBride working from the stretch. Runner on second, 1 out, pitch to, and that's a walk to Will Smith. And now there's 2 on and 1 out. It'll bring up Louis Arise. So Arise comes up with Batty sets. McBride from the stretch and the pitch to Arise. Fly ball to center. Pearson is there, comes in, makes the catch. Runners will hold, and there's 2 outs here in the 4th. And brings up Gallen. Now what will the National League do in this case? They've only got 4 pinch hitters on this roster. And do you want to wait your turn, or do you want to go get them right now and try to get a big Gallen bat? Gallen gonna stay in there and swing. 2 on and 2 outs. McBride from the stretch, the pitch to Gallen, and fly ball to center. Pearson is there, makes the catch, and the National League will strand two. We go to the bottom of the fourth, still no score here in Cleveland. It'll bring up Albie Pearson. He'll be followed by Al Kaline and Frank Malzone batting for the American Leaguers here. Gallen looks in, gets the sign, giving up one base hit through 3 innings. Gallen with the windup and the pitch to Pearson. And Pearson, a liner right at a rise. Nice play there, one away. Here's Al Kaline. Kaline 0 for 1 in the ball game. Smith puts down the sign, and Gallen from the windup and pitch to Kaline. Struck him out. Kaline on the inside corner, got him looking. Window shopping for Al. 2 away here in the fourth for Frank Malzone. Smith sets. Gallen looks in the windup, the pone. And that's another liner again. Ballpark signal to a right-handed hitter. Dies as Versalles makes the play. We head to the fifth. Still no score here in Cleveland. National League nothing, and the American League nothing. Here's Ronald Acuna Jr., Acuna Mataya, followed by Freeman and Soto. The bat for the National League against Mcbride here. Mcbride looks in, gets the nut, and Acuna had to drive to left center field. That could be trouble. Up against the wall, pops the wall. Acuna around second and stays there for stand-up double. Double for Ronald Acuna. So Acuna's on double. He hit it hard. And now here's Freddie Freeman, runner on second and nobody out, top of the fifth. Mcbride working from the stretch. Acuna with great speed. Let's see if Freeman can get him over. Here's the pitch. And that's a fly ball left field. Wagner is there. Acuna has to hold. Soto walked his first time up. So Soto comes in, left-handed batting box, representing the San Diego Padres. McBride lost the California Angels wearing their home white. Soto wearing the Padre mustard on his colors. Soto steps in. Batty puts down the sign. McBride from the stretch, pitch to Soto, and that's a liner base hit. It's a seeing eye base hit there. Soto with a base hit, and then again the National League have something going. First and third one out. Here come the NL trying to get something across, and it brings on Mookie Betts. First and third one out. The American League in this case, let's see if they decide they're going to play the infield, and I'm playing both teams as it says here. So let's go ahead and bring the infield in. I think you have to do it here in the fifth inning with 1 out, the score being weighted in stress. They're daring Mookie Betts to hit it on the ground right at somebody and to get it through. Betts has the plus on the 11, so not a high odds. McBride from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Betts. And that's a pop to short. Versalles is there, makes the catch, and it now turns into a clutch situation for Austin Riley. Riley, an anti-clutch guy, too, representing the American League of 1963, trying to show their toughness against these new-look National Leaguers of 2023. Riley steps up. McBride working from the stretch. First and third, 2 out, pitched to Austin, and he hits a shot to deep left center field. Wagner's not going to get it. Acuna scores. Here comes the second run. That will score. Riley heads the third, and National League Riley with a 2-run triple. And now here's Corbin Carroll. So 2-0 National League here in the fifth. Batty sets the target. McBride from the stretch. Runner on third, 2 outs. And that's a hit by pitch on Carroll. First and third, 2 outs. Second hit by pitch of the ball game. Here is Will Smith. Let's see if the American League has up this inning. They are still about a couple batters away from McBride. Probably Batty puts down a target. McBride working from the stretch. First and third, 2 outs. National League finally gets a couple runs across. Here's the pitch to Smith. And that's a ground ball back to McBride. Throws them out. And a good play there by the pitcher to retire the side. But the National League finally break loose with two. We go to the bottom of the fifth. It is the Time Machine All-Star Series. National League 2, American League nothing. National League representing the 2023 Wild American 63. If you remember our last game, we were here, we did the American League. It was the American League 2023 taking on the National League 1963. Now, the game was played in Seattle. So this is going to again be Leon Wagner. He'll be followed by Batty, and Pepitone against Gallen here in the fifth. So Gallen looks in with a 2-0 lead. Here's the pitch to Wagner. And that's going to be a liner base hit for Wagner. So Wagner is going here and now brings up the tough catcher, Earl Batty here. So Batty steps up, right-handed batter with right-handed catcher from the Minnesota Twins. Smith puts down the target. Gallen from the stretch looks in. Wagner takes a lead. Here's the pitch to Batty, and that's a fly ball in the center. Carroll comes in, makes the catch, and Wagner will have to hold with one away. Here is Joe Pepitone, 1-for-1, the 2 base hits the American Leaguers have. Of course, Pepitone wearing the Yankee pinstripes here in Cleveland against Gallen wearing the road Arizona Diamondbacks. Smith puts down the target. Gallen from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Pepitone. And that's a ground ball back to Gallen. Goes to short. Gets the fielder's choice as Pepitone will reach first. And there's 2 away. And here's Zolio Versalis of the Minnesota Twins. 2 outs. Zolio 0-for-1 in the ball. Will be a pinch hitter for McBride if we get there. Smith puts down the target. And Gallen working from the stretch. Runner on first. 2 out, the pitch to Zolio, and a strikeout for Gallen retires the side, which means we'll see Ken McBride coming out for the 6th. It's 2-0 National League. We're here in Cleveland for the Time Machine All-Star Series. So National League 2, 6-0, while the American League 2-0. We kind of saw this in the American League. Not a lot of offense generated. National League pitchers, if they can shut them down, are going to be tough. So Batty puts down the sign, and McBride looks in, gets it. Here's a pitch to a rise, and a strikeout on a rise. Don't see that happening. So Ken McBride gets a big strikeout. 1 out in the 6th for the pitcher spot, Zach Gallen, who will stay out there. He's only given up 2 hits through 5 innings. Batty sets. McBride looks in. The windup to his fellow pitcher, and fly ball to right field. K-Line puts the glove on Acuna Jr. 2 doubles in this ball game. Batty puts down the side. McBride with the windup and pitch. And that will be another liner in the gap. Pearson reaches, makes the running catch. What a play by Pearson to retire the side. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. National League leads it 2-0. So that'll do it. Ken McBride will be coming out this ball game, and American League has a ton of come in. I wish they had half these. Damn, they have guys who should be starting this game. My goodness. And they'll start off with Carl Yastrzemski. Let Yaz come in. They got some guys on this bench who can hit, so we'll let them come out and do what they can do. So Yastrzemski, a .321 hitter, 14 homers, 68 runs batted him. He's a youngster in this series, only been with the Red Sox for a couple years. Smith puts down the sign, and Gallen looks in. And that's a strikeout for Gallen. That's a big strikeout. 1 away in the 6th. Here's Nellie Fox. And again, the American League bench here. And see who will come up and see if he might be a better hitter. And, not much better here, to be honest. Looking to see if they had another second baseman that could that can come in a little bit. And the only other second baseman to me is Bobby Richardson. Not a great year. So Fox will stay in hit. The windup and pitch. And that's a fly to left field. Soto is there, makes the catch, and we got 2 outs. And now here's Albie Pearson, a 304 hitter. He's a left-handed swinger. I believe he played left field here for the American League. He's a center fielder, actually. Let's see if they have a center fielder who can play effectively, and that could be Tommy Tresh, but again, not a situation where you want Tresh here. And Pearson back with 2 outs. Smith puts down the sign. Gallen with the windup and pitch to Pearson. And ground ball to third, picked up by Riley. Throws him out, retires the side. New pitcher needed. We go to the 2-0 National League. So Ken McBride is done here, and the American League will go to Mr. Dick Raditz. So Mr. Raditz will come in. Great season in 63. He'll be the new has wanted to. You know what? Let's go ahead and leave Yastrzemski and that means I need another pinch hitter. That's fine. Let's give Raditz an inning of work and get him out of there by the next inning. I can do that. That's okay. So Raditz will come in, not going to do any double switches to not going to do any double switches to cause major problems, but I'm going to go ahead and put Raditz in the game for Wagner and for the American League. Again, he'll pitch 1 inning because his spot in the order will come up here. So here comes Dick Raditz. So Raditz comes in. He'll now pitch to Freeman, Soto, and Betts here in the 7th. 2-6-0 for the National League, while 0-2-0 for the American League. Not much going on. Raditz looks into Freeman and the pitch. And that's a ground ball to short. Hit at first Salas. Top play. Throws. Not in time. Pull Pepitone off the bag. And that's an infield hit for 1-for-1 with the run scored. Batty puts down the sign. Raditz working from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that's a ground ball to second. Fox got it. Only plays the first. Throws it over. And Freeman will move to second. So now here's Mookie Betts. 0-for-2 in the ball game. Batty puts down the sign, and Raditz working now from the stretch. Runner on second, 1 out. It's the Betts, and that's a shot for Raditz. Oh, the big man, Dick Raditz with a big strikeout. 162 strikeouts and 102 outs for Austin Riley. And the big hit of the ball game. He's 2-for-3 with a triple. Looking at game MVP status so far. Raditz from the stretch. Freeman taking the lead off second. Pitch to Riley. And a strikeout for Raditz, and it's 7th inning stretch here in Cleveland. It's the National League 2 and the American League nothing. So far, the National League 2-7-0, while the American League are 0-2. I think Malzone and a pinch hitter for Dick Raditz here in the 7th inning as Zach Gallen will stay out there. Oh, really only 2 hits through 6. Smith puts down the sign. I see if they can get to him. Here's Frankie Malzone. He's 0-for-2, and he represents the third baseman for the American League. Now, again, that third Brooks Robinson, a 251 hitter with 11 home runs, 67 runs batted in. Let's see what numbers Malzone has. 284, 378. Killebrew, Howard would almost have better numbers. Even the lefties extremely well. Let's see who the possibly... Are you looking for Gallen? 319. Let's go look for Norm Seaburn. So Norm Seaburn will swing, but Brooks Robinson will grab the bat. Seaburn comes in, 272 hitter, 16 home runs, 83 runs batted in. From the stretch, Gallen. Here's the pitch. And that gets another one. That is one out in the seventh. And here's Raditz. And another pinch hitter here for the American League. Be Harmon Killebrews. The big Harmon will come in. He will swing the bat representing the Minnesota Twins here. So Harmon the swing, a 258 hitter, 45 ding-dongs during the season. He looks to tie it with one swing of the bat. Smith puts down the target. Gallen from the stretch. Runner on first and one. That's a deep drive left field. Back goes Soto. Back goes Carroll. Soto at the track makes the catch. Throws it back in. K-Line has to head back, and there's two out. He hit a long one, but unfortunately, he hit it to about left center field, about 400 feet away, and it didn't carry. Two outs here in the seventh for Batty. Batty's 0 for 2. K-Line still on at first. Smith puts the target down. Gallen working from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Batty. Batting for Zach Gallen. We go 7. It's 2 leaguers. So now we need to make some moves. Let's see who will come in and make the move here. So starting catcher from the Washington Senators will be, it looks like a guy named, oh no, what am I saying? My man, one of my heroes, Elston Howard, will come in. So Elston Howard, he'll actually how did we do this? Let's see. So the new pitcher will be, they'll put Mudcat Grant in. He has some relief innings in him. So Mudcat Grant will come in and we'll do that. And we'll go ahead and put Elston. We'll go ahead and put Elston Howard. Ooh, that works too. All right. Let's put Elston Howard in for he'll lead off for the American Leaguers in the next inning. Harmon Killebrew. Ooh, he's a left fielder, non-first baseman. Seaburn's a first baseman. So Seaburn will go on and play first here. So first, second, short, and Brooks Robinson will need to come in for there. So Brooks Robinson will now be your third baseman. We'll reset this team for us. Make sure we're okay. Mudcat Grant needs to be the pitcher. New guys now. Yastrzemski, Pearson, K-Line, Robinson, Versalles, Fox, Seaburn, Elston Howard behind the plate, and on the mound is Mudcat Grant. Mudcat Grant was 13 and 14, 3.69 ERA. So we'll go to the eighth inning. National League leads it 2-0, 2-7-0 for the National League of 2023. 0-3-0 for the American League of 1963. So here's Carroll. He's 0 for 2. Howard, Zach Grant. And that's going to be a line drive caught by Fox, and there's one away. And here's the Prince of Hollywood, Will Smith, 0 for 2 with the walk. Howard sets the target. Grant looks in with the windup. Here's the pitch. And that's a walk to Will Smith. He's been on base before that walk. So he's on at first with one out. Here's Louis Arise. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game. Howard sets the target. Grant working from the stretch. Runner on first and one out. And that's going to ground ball to third. Brooks Robinson, vacuum cleaner. A young-looking third baseman from the Baltimore Orioles goes 5-4-3. Turns the double play. We go to the bottom of the eighth. It's the National League of 2023 2. Go to the bottom of the eighth inning. And Elston Howard will be followed by Versalles. And the National League will go with a new pitcher here in the eighth inning. I think they're almost inclined to here after 7. So let's see who they will go then with. They'll go from the Pittsburgh Pirates, David Bednar. So David Bednar will come in. So he's the new pitcher. 3-3, 39 saves. Two Howard will swing away. Bednar looks into the Yankee catcher. Here's the pitch. And Yankee had a big hit for the AL. And now here's Zolio Versalis. He's 0 for 2. On deck is Yastrzemski. So it's a 2-0 National League lead. Smith puts down the target. Bednar working from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Versailles, and that's a bat as Howard has to scoop back. Here's Yastrzemski. He's 0 for 1 in the ball. And 1 out. And the pitch, drive, right center field. Back goes and the American win this game at 2. Carl Yastrzemski. It's a American Leagues are back in this game, 2-2. Goes over the wall and gone, and we're tied at 2 in the 8th. Here's Fox, and a brand new Smith puts down the sign. Bednar with the windup to Nelly Fox. While the second arrives, throws them out, and there's 2 outs. And now here's Albie Pearson. So Albie Pearson, a left-handed hitter against Bednar. Bednich, and that's a fly ball to right. Acuna is there, makes the catch, and we go to the top of the 9th. National League 2 and the American League 2. As Mudcat Grant goes back out for the American League. And it will be now Bednar will now need a pinch hitter here. So, wow, he gave up 2 spots. Somebody, they'll bring out the Atlanta Braves, Matt Olson, 54 home runs on this season. And he'll come in. Howard puts down the sign. Grant looks in from the windup. Here's the pitch to Matt Olson. Walked him, and there's a runner on first and nobody out. So now here's Ronald Acuna, 2 for 4, couple doubles. Howard puts down the sign. Grant looks in from the stretch. Olson to get a lead off first. Here's a pitch to Acuna. And it's a one in the gap. Here, Olson will have to hold. Howard goes out and talks to Grant. He sets signs down. Grant working from the stretch with Olson taking the lead off first. Here's the pitch to Freeman. And that's going to be a fly ball to center. It's going to be Pearson makes the catch, and there's 2 outs, and Olson will have to get back. So now here's Juan Soto, 1 for 2 with the run scored. Big spot here against Mudcat Grant. Mudcat Grant, I believe, represents the Minnesota Twins, I believe. No, he represents the Cleveland Indians, the hometown Indians, here with Olson at first and Soto up. Fans on their feet for their pitcher. Grant from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Soto. And a fly ball to center. Pearson is there, makes the catch. And we head to the 9th inning of a 2-2 tie. So now the question is who a +9. Let's see who else is on this team that could give them 5 innings in relief if need be. Have too many starters. There, Goo +8. They don't have anybody who cannot hold, but besides Hader, Kimbrel. Oh goodness, they got 3 closers who cannot hold, guys. Oh, let's go to Cobb here. Cobb will come on out. Alex Cobb will be the pitcher, representing the San Francisco Giants, and he'll pitch to K-Line, Seaburn, and Robinson, with the American League a chance to walk this off. Smith puts down the sign. Cobb from the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be a line drive deep to right center field. Say goodbye, baseball, and this game is over. A walk-off bomb for Al K-Line, Mr. Tiger. Comes all the way back and wins this by the score of 3-2. Wow, the National League started up 2-0 in the fifth. A Yastrzemski bomb in the eighth, and then a bomb by K-Line in the ninth wins it. 3-2 National, 3-2 AL 62, or say 63. What a job here. The win will go to Grant. He goes 2 innings. Mcbride went 6, gave up 6 hits, 7 innings, 3 hits. Bednar gave up the bomb to Yastrzemski, and then Cobb came in and gave up the bomb to K-Line. So Mr. Tiger gets it done. Home runs by K-Line, Yastrzemski, RBIs by Riley, K-Line, 2 RBIs by Yastrzemski. Game MVP goes to Mr. Tiger Al Kaline for hitting the big blow. Ball game over. Ball game over. The American League wins this by the score of 3-2. 3-2, 7-0 for the National League. Well, folks, that has been a presentation of the Time Machine All-Star Game Classic. You like more? Please stay tuned to the channel for more baseball like this and a lot of other things coming in your future. Thank you, folks. Appreciate everyone coming in. Hope everyone had a good evening. Thank you again. We'll see you more next time as we bring you more baseball from one. Thank you, folks. It has been a pleasure. K-Line goes deep, sends the American League home happy by the score of 3-2.